Hello guys, this is another Essence of Zen video. This is a pretty much emergency video. We're going to cover a little bit of anime today. So, I was writing a paper for a moment, and my friend sends me this message saying, it's like he spammed it like 6 messages back to back saying, oh my god, Zane, oh man, have you read it, someone who was dead is back. No, I don't want to spoil it. Let me read it. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And he says, One Piece. Now, usually I read my manga on Wednesdays, but since he's going crazy, you know, I was like, okay, let me go and read the latest One Piece chapter tonight. I stopped in the middle of my paper, and I went to go read One Piece. And it looks like Sabo is making a return to the series. Now, for some people, they believe this is already, you know, some people are skeptical, and it's one of the things where it is so obvious that, you know, Oda is giving so many signs and hints that I wouldn't be surprised if it was a hoax. But I do believe Sabo is back, and I don't want to ruin the entire chapter. I mean, obviously I'm going to have a spoiler alert message before this video starts, but let's take a look at what I'm talking about. So if I'm going to pull up, so some people say, well, you know, Sabo died. Well, Sabo was, you know, rumored to be rescued by a Monkey D. Dragon. So in the chapters where, you know, he runs into Dragon when he's running through the streets, and they setting what do they call it, the garbage lands, you know, the slums on fire because the rich nobles want to get rid of all the people in all that area to make it look nice, basically. So Sabo actually runs into Dragon, and it makes Dragon, you know, curious about this town or this island or whatever, and he stays for a moment, rather. Now, later on, Sabo gets shot down as he sails out to sea. Now, in a moment, you know, they show us a panel where, you know, one of Dragon's crewmates says, you know, Dragon, you're late. How long did you plan to keep me waiting? And then so on, and then right here, hey, somebody treat these wounds quickly. Dragon's not damaged, obviously. So who is? Obviously, the person that Dragon went to go save, besides Luffy and Ace, because it's rumored that Dragon has some type of weather ability where he can, you know, do gusts of wind, rain, lightning, and all that good stuff. But it's rumored, or speculated rather, that Dragon saved Sabo. And this is like one of the little nods off to it. So, and most people figure, you know, Sabo wasn't dead because Oda just doesn't introduce a somewhat major. He wasn't major when first shown, but he definitely wasn't a minor character. It was like a basis for the relationship between Luffy and Ace, which was a big deal. You know, the whole thing where Ace dies and Luffy, you know, goes into freaking shock. So if you have these three brothers, and the idea of Sabo dying was one of the cornerstones and having them set off for adventure at a certain age, you know Sabo may be a little more important than first led to believe. So let's actually take a look at the today's chapter. I mean, this is only one page from it. Okay, so Luffy is talking to the I forget his name already, the barrier guy, and he's interrupted by this guy who, if you can see, you know, the jacket, the belt over the jacket, the white scarf, and they even make notes of saying, you know, this guy pretending to know Luffy really well. And if you also look right here, I'm gonna try to zoom in for you. You can see a hat. That is definitely a similar top hat to what Sabo wore, you know, back in the old days. And as I move out here, let's go back to the scarf and the jacket. Let's look at a picture of Sabo when he was young. See the top hat, see the scarf, So the jacket, the belt, it's a different belt, mind you, but still, the motif of the design, the outfit, the clothes, it fits. And when the Barry guy was saying, you know, do not enter, I think it was like this page right here, he's asking, why is this new guy speaking to Luffy like, you know, it ain't nothing? And you also see more here. It definitely looks like Sabo's outfit. So this is the brother of the legendary pirate Fire Fist Ace, you know, and he will become the future pirate king, you idiot. And on the next page, you know, he states, I already know that. Of course he already knows who Luffy is, and the fact that, you know, Ace was Fire Fist Ace. And the reason why Sabo doesn't want Luffy, or, you know, say, you know, the fire fruit cannot be given to you, Straw Hat Luffy, is because I believe Sabo wants to use the fruit for himself, not in a selfish form of way, but more as a nod to the brother that he lost as well. Luffy already has a fruit ability, to our knowledge at the moment. Sabo does not. And the last picture of this chapter, which I'm not going to show, I would just simply say this: the unshown, or the unknown character who we think is Sabo, states that Ace's will needs to live on. And who else knows Ace and Luffy as well as anyone else who we've not yet seen in the present day era? So it's not anyone from the Whitebeard pirate crew. You know, none of them, you know, needs to have the fire fruit at all. And I mean, it's pretty damn obvious. I'm excited for it. You know, I've been waiting for Sabo to make his return for a while. I always thought that Luffy would meet up with Sabo when Luffy ends up running into Dragon again. And this entire arc on Dressrosa has been a complete and utter, like, mind, you know, you can fill in the blank. You know, I'm not gonna add any more spoilers, but the fact that, you know, what's going on with Law and what's going on with Doflamingo, and then, you know, she shows up in her giant ship, and, you know, I thought she was gonna happen. She was gonna come in the next arc. If people is keeping track of the chapters, you know who she is. What I'm referring to. I thought she was gonna show up in the next arc after Doflamingo, and I mean, Oda is just throwing curveballs everywhere. And to be honest, you know, some people said that Zoro was gonna get the fire fruit. No, Zoro, I highly doubt that Zoro is gonna get any fruit ever, because his whole ordeal is, you know, brute strength through training and hard work and etc. Giving him a fruit ability would make it, I want to say, like, first of all, even more OP than he already is, and second, it's like it doesn't fit with the scheme that's going on between the monster trio. And Sanji doesn't need the fruit. He already catches on fire in some sort of way, but he's a good swimmer. You know, he's the one that goes to rescue any of the anchors if they fall overboard into the ocean. So that's my speculations anyway. I am so happy. I've been waiting for this for so many chapters. So leave your comments and your theories below. Let me know what you think. I'm sorry that it's not going to have a big amount of edits in terms of this video, but that's what happens when you have an emergency. Well, when I do an emergency theory video, it's just straight raw, and I got to get back to finishing this paper before tomorrow when I have my 2 other finals. So I'm gonna go ahead and end it here. I'm gonna say take care, guys. We're gonna do more anime videos later, especially once my semester is finished completely. We're going to start jumping on board with the EOZ's online network, so we're going to have a bunch of media coming out at a scheduled time. So until then, guys, take care. Keep reading One Piece. Yes, I am a One Piece fanatic. It is my favorite manga. So let me know what you guys think.